Hi, I'm Andrew Robinson, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Google Home Max smart speaker. The Google Home Max is Google's latest and largest and loudest smart speaker in their Google Home lineup, which includes the Google Mini, the Google Home, and now the Google Home Max. The Google Home Max just came out in late December, early January, depending on if you pre-ordered or waited for it to come into stores, and it retails for a whopping $399. That makes it the most expensive of the new crop of AI or smart, intelligent, voice-activated speakers on the market today. Is it any good? Well, if you have a Google Home or a Google Home Mini and you like that experience, which I happen to have quite a few of and enjoy immensely, the Google Home Max is exactly the same experience that you will receive from those two other products, just on a much, much larger scale. One of the things about the Google Home Max that I was most excited about is its extra added versatility. It has an aux jack, and Google's own literature for the Max shows it connected to a turntable with two Google Home Maxes on either side. And this is exactly what made me excited about this loudspeaker, because I have a vinyl collection and I was curious if my vinyl collection could step into modern times and I could control it with little more than my voice. And no amplifiers, no preamps, no nothing, just two Google Home Maxes and a turntable. And I wanted to see if that would work. And while the Google Home Max does have an aux jack, you cannot simply say, hey Google, switch to auxiliary jack. It doesn't work like that. There is no voice control of the two input options on a Google Home Max. In fact, in order to get the aux jack to even work, you have to plug your device into the aux jack, then unplug the Google Max from the wall, plug it back in, hit play on your aux jack connected device, in this case my turntable, and then it will play, as long as it is the first thing that the Google Home Max receives in terms of a signal. It will play. The second you say, hey Google, play, pick a song from Google Play Music, Spotify, or whatever, it will switch from the aux jack back to its primary function, but you can't go back to the aux jack or to, say, your vinyl collection until you repeat the steps by unplugging the aux jack, plugging it back in, then unplugging the speaker, plugging the speaker back in, and then putting the needle down on your record. That is absurd. And Google is aware of this, so hopefully this will be fixed in a firmware update, because as of right now, I do consider the aux jack to be irrelevant. Yes, there is one. Yes, technically it works, but because it's such a pain, I don't think it is a viable solution or even an option. That being said, if the records are playing, you can control the volume of the Google Home Max with your voice, which is kind of cool to be able to sit in your chair, your listening chair, enjoy the sound and say volume up, volume down, volume 70%, so on and so forth. That's pretty cool. But honestly, it's such a pain to get the aux jack to even work that I don't recommend jumping aboard that train. As cool as the photograph and their marketing materials may look, the way in which it's implemented is just silly. So how does the Google Home Max sound? Well, in a nutshell, it sounds great. It's not quite as refined as Apple's new HomePod, and it's not quite as refined as some dedicated speakers that you will be able to buy for $400-500 a pair. But for an all-in-one smart speaker that can read you the news, tell you the weather, has access to an entire library of music, and YouTube and all of these things, it's pretty damn impressive. It does sound different depending on how you configure it, though. If you have it on its side in its horizontal configuration, the Google Home Max will be acting as a single speaker stereo speaker. That sounds really confusing, but it will be trying to give you stereo imaging from a single speaker when it is on its side. If you turn it vertically, it automatically knows to become a mono speaker because it thinks that you will be adding a second Google Home Max. And that is one of the cool features about the Google Home Max, is that it can actually pair wirelessly with another Google Home Max to give you a left and right stereo pair that are both voice controlled and have access to the same thing. And so when you set it vertically and you get a second one, you can pair them using the app, and that is quite cool. Unfortunately, there was only one Google Home Max in my entire area, so I didn't get to test this, but I can say that there is an audible difference between having the Google Home Max lying on its side horizontally versus when you tip it up vertically. The sound does dramatically change, and even though I only had the one Google Home Max to test, I actually preferred the sound of it vertical. Yes, it was a little less spacious, but because it was a little less spacious, it became a little bit more focused and a little bit more refined, and I liked that very, very much. As far as volume is concerned, this thing slams. This thing can fill a room with sound very, very easily. The sound is very, very dynamic, very punchy. The Google Home Max is a sealed cabinet, so bass has a lot of force. You can rattle the walls and annoy your neighbors with just one Google Home Max, and you can very, very quickly see why it gets the Max name, because this thing wants to play loud, it loves playing loud, and you will like it loud. The other beautiful thing about the Google Home Max that its HomePod competitor or just other smart speakers in general don't really allow for, you can tune this. Google has unlocked EQ functionality for the Google Home Max in the app, so if it is a little too bass heavy for you, you can simply turn the bass down, turn the treble up, so on and so forth. Now, as for Google's auto EQ claims, I don't think it's as effective or as noticeable as Apple HomePod's auto EQ. That being said, like I said earlier, it is a big difference in sound from when the Google Home Max is on its side versus when it's vertical. But as far as where you place it in the room, there doesn't seem to be that noticeable of a shift in sound quality, which means if you like it here, you're gonna like it there, you're gonna like it kind of everywhere. Other things that I really like about it, I do like the fact that it is not completely wrapped in cloth, meaning it will be easier to keep free of fingerprints and clean. I like the magnetic rubber base that helps isolate it from whatever surface you have it set on. But more than that, I just love that it works. It absolutely just works. You plug it in, you connect it to your Wi-Fi. It doesn't need extra permissions or anything like that. You connect it to your Wi-Fi, you say, "Hey Google," and you're off to the races. And I never thought in a million years that Google would out Apple in the simplicity department, but they have, and it shows in every Google Home product, and the Google Home Max is no different. So would I buy it? If I had it right now, it is my favorite smart speaker on the market today. It is without a doubt. However, because the aux jack functionality is so bad and so poorly thought out, and I wanted the Google Home Max as a stereo pair replacement for traditional speakers, I'm holding off until I know that that's fixed, because I don't need more speakers in my life right now. But if the aux jack was able to be voice activated and it worked as well as everything else on this speaker works, then by all means, I would have two of them, would never bat an eye, never look back. I think they're that good. But for now, I am holding off until I know all the kinks are fixed, because I have Google Homes in every room in my house, and that works just fine for me. And I have speakers for my record player that I love very much right now, so I don't need it. But if you are in the market for a smart speaker and want the current king of smart speakers that is easy to use and functions 95% is advertised the Google Home Max is going to be your speaker of choice. So there you have it. What'd you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one of these? I would love to know your thoughts on the Google Home Max. Also, leave a comment, please subscribe, and I will continue to bring you more reviews like this and of other techno gadgets that Josh and I encounter on a daily basis. So until next time, thanks for watching, happy listening, and we'll see you later. Bye.